As someone who only took a music class for about a semester or maybe half a term, I think, it is very hard to talk about music when you don't really have the words or know the terminology in order to state what is what. But it is very easy for a person to definitely get feeling from music. I'm pretty sure that's a thing for everybody. It's why people like the music that they like. It's why people, don't like the music that they like. It's why I love certain tracks of video game music and why I don't like certain tracks of video game music. But there is also a feeling that carries on with music as well. And I believe that also has to do with a certain sense of symbolism. And I'll give you an example. I love Sonic Unleashed. It's a good game. Some stages are kind of iffy, but I do love the game. But if I'm ever going to go back and play it on my PS2, I'm going to go back to Rooftop Run. And that's because, strangely enough, originally I got the game at about, what was it? Man, I know Disney's Bolt came out that year. What was it, like 2007, 2008, or 2009? One of those years. I wasn't very good at the game because I wasn't as big of a platformer person. I still am it. I'm still not. But at that time, it was very hard for me to, get good at platformers. And I didn't get to Rooftop Run until it was about the summer of that next year. And oh my gosh, when I heard Rooftop Run, the guitars in that track are so amazing, and they have a certain distinctive feel. And when I go back to play Sonic Generations, and when I play Rooftop Run, it's definitely a remix track. It's a good track, I won't deny it that. But because of the memories, because of the nostalgia and the era, the time period of when I was playing the original stage and listening to the original Rooftop Run, when I listen to that track, the original, it takes me back to summer. It takes me back to when I used to play it as a younger kid, and it does make me feel like, hey, it gives me a sense of nostalgia, but it also, this song is still hype. It still builds up that hype. Hey, we're running through the city right now. We're running through the city at supersonic speed, and nothing's stopping us except if, you're bad at the game, like I kind of was. So when you're listening to music, there's something you feel. There's gonna be emotions that come with it. Like when you listen to Secret Base from Anohana, when I heard that in the movie, I literally cried. I bursted out crying because that song hits you so hard. And certain anime openings like Rewrite, it's, oh my gosh, that opening is so amazing. It's like one of the best openings of all time by Asian Kung Fu Generation. One of the best openings of all time. And if you're gonna listen to Rewrite, you gotta listen to every other Full Metal Alchemist intro ever. Every other Full Metal Alchemist intro, because they're all so good. But you gotta build up to the final one, because Rewrite was the last one of the original FMA. So there's distinctive things that you got to do with music. There's distinctive things that you feel from music. And one of the songs that I feel very attached to, there's a lot of songs I feel very attached to. There's songs from Kagura Project like Days and Yobanashi Deceive. But one specific track there is, and this is by one of my all-time favorite anime, is Last Dinosaur by The Pillows and Fooly Cooly. And that track, my gosh, there's so many things I could say about that song if I knew how to talk about music. But when I've been watching Fooly Cooly since I was maybe about, oh man, 6 years old maybe. And it's been so long since I've been watching Fooly Cooly, and I never understood it. But I love the music. I love listening to Ride On Shooting Star. And it wasn't until about 3 years ago where I really started getting back to like Fooly Cooly, and I was like, hey, are they ever gonna make a sequel? I was like really interested. Hey, I want to understand this anime, because it was, I believe at the time, it was they were re-showing it on Toonami, and I was like, hey, I want to understand this anime. And I was listening to the soundtrack, and I got to Last Dinosaur, and I didn't feel as much nostalgia as I could have if I truly listened to the music back then when I was younger. But when I listen to it now, there's so much that comes from that song, and that's because personally I really do love guitars. I love listening to tracks with guitars. But when I hear the Pillows play, there are so many emotions that come over with some of their songs. Like Spiky Seeds currently, it's a hype song. It builds up a lot of tension. It makes me want to run around and do some crazy ass shit. But they also have other songs like Star Overhead, which is the basically the theme of Fooly Cooly Alternative, and that's it has build up to it. It can be very hype, but it has that melancholy feel. It has that it's very toned down in terms of its hype levels, and it basks in the melancholic feel or just the slow pacing of the song. And it knows how to build up to the hype and then combine the two. And I'm saying hype because I don't really know a better way to use, but but it's also because when I get a feel from certain songs, it does make me want to do certain things, even though I'm never gonna do it. But it gets my mind racing, and I'm an artist as well. So if I'm listening to a song and it's a really pumped up song, I start drawing faster. And Star Overhead and Spiky Seeds, they're two different types of songs. One is more upbeat, they both focus on guitars, but I believe personally that Spiky Seeds uses guitars a lot more, and then Star Overhead has a lot more other types of instruments. I think maybe, well, it has not other instruments, but like the way it starts off, you can definitely tell that, hey, there's more to it than just, these normal instruments. And that's part of why I like Star Overhead, but it's a very slow down song with a lot of fast pacing to it, and it knows how to build up to it. With Last Dinosaur, I believe Last Dinosaur does a very great job of combining both of those things. And it's an old song, so like basically what I'm saying is that what I like so much about Spiky Seeds and Star Overhead already exist within a previous song, and that is Last Dinosaur. And Last Dinosaur does such a good job of keeping up tension while also having a melancholic feel about it. And that's specifically because of what it is attached to with the story of Fooly Cooly. And if you look up Last Dinosaur by the Pillows on YouTube, what you'll see is one of the top videos you should see is like an AMV that came with the DVD, I believe. And when you know the story of Fooly Cooly, the impact of the Pillows, the impact of Last Dinosaur becomes very different. And the fact of what Naoto is going to do with the fact of that he's being looked to as a replacement for his brother, or the fact of that he knows that he can't really be there for Mamimi because Mamimi is still so interested in his brother, and he has to overcome the fact that he's not his brother, and he needs to build up his own identity. He has to deal with growing up in a world, or in basically an environment where he believes that adults are just stupid, that they're not mature enough for him, but yet he has Haruko, who's able to actually show him different aspects of reality, different aspects of life that he would have never imagined. And they do end up creating an interesting interaction with the characters. Like I don't remember the purple-haired girl's name, but it's stuff like that where it takes growing up to a different kind of level. And that's what I think Last Dinosaur does. When you combine Fooly Cooly with the Pillows and the music that they do, and specifically for me with Last Dinosaur, it brings up not only a melancholic feel from this based off nostalgia, but it also brings up that the hype. It also brings up it's very, I don't know if bombastic is the right word, but it does know how to drive home the feeling of, hey, this is how things were, and if we could go back to how things were, it'd be great. But we still are living in the now. And the fact that we're living in the now, we still have to keep moving forward. We still have to progress. We still have to grow up like Naruto did. And we're still going to have amazing experiences just like Naruto had with Haruko. And once we have those experiences, that doesn't mean it's the end. It's going to keep on going, because that's what life is. Life just keeps on going. Delivering my killing blow without being detected, I've survived through each and every era. Under an unbelievable sky, I found nothing to fear. And the fact that once you've found nothing to fear, that means you've grown up. You've grown up from, like how Naruto has, from being just in his brother's shadow to becoming his own person. And he doesn't have to worry about the fact of worrying about having Mamimi see him as just a replacement for his brother, or just that he's not his brother. He's able to grow up. And one of the scenes of Fully Cool that I love the most, where Kanti just jumps down behind him, and you see that the exaggeration of Kanti's body, or I think it was either the enemy that Kanti just threw down or something like that. He has nothing at that point. He has nothing left to fear, because he is so headstrong with proving himself to her. And in the next few lines, I wouldn't mind taking on all the world's sadness, and I don't need anyone to take it easy on me. No matter where I go or who I stand before, I just want to be myself. And that's exactly what I mean. Through experiences in life, you're gonna grow as a person, and those experiences make who you are. What you do makes up who you are. Like how recently on Twitter you've seen people like, hey, like list 5 games, 5 songs, or 5 anime openings that that kind of make up who you are as a person. And I haven't just seen like a normal song thing. I've seen the anime opening thing, but Last Dinosaur would definitely be my #1 pick of a song that builds who I am. Not only because of how melancholy the pacing of the song is, or the beats of the songs are, but it's the fact that the lyrics are very deep intertwined with what it was, I guess, advertised with. The fact that it was with Fully Cooley, and the fact that you see Naruto's progression. You have the story about learning how to grow up in a way that can't really be retold, except the fact that they're doing it with Fully Cooley, Progressive, and Alternative. And I don't think Progressive did that well of a job, but Alternative so far is looking really great. There's gonna be experiences that you can't get from other things, but there are going to be experiences that you can receive from something entirely new, from something entirely either inspired or something entirely just influential. And when you're influenced, especially how I am influenced by Fully Cooley and how I'm influenced by the Pillows with their music, they really drive home me of growing up as a person. And this Last Dinosaur specifically really makes me feel like not only am I getting ready to keep moving forward, but my past and what I've learned from Fully Cooley, it's lessons about growing up. Last Dinosaur is a song that definitely not only makes me feel pumped up to listen to each time, but it also gives me that melancholic feel that I am ready to keep moving forward, and to also have my experiences in my past follow with me as I learn to grow up.